This is Gnome Prisoner, my 1 chunk Iron Man, and currently I'm faced with my most tedious grind yet, a true slog of a task. I need to get to 75 thieving to pickpocket a gnome, and the only training method available to me is to pickpocket this man 150,000 times for 8 experience and 3 coins per pickpocket. There's a small sliver of hope to lessen this grind though. As it so happens, the chunk directly south of my current one has a thieving method that would reduce the number of pickpockets to less than a third. Normally all I could do is stare at this chunk wistfully, as I can only roll a new chunk after completing my current one, but fellow gnome chunker Extreme Gnome has reminded me that I did not roll my bonus chunk for getting a skilling pad. A skilling pad that I tragically lost last episode to this very grind and my own carelessness. Can my prematurely deceased beaver save me from a long and arduous grind? The chances aren't good, but let's find out. It is currently half past midnight on New Year's, and exactly 1 year ago I started my chunk account. And now, before I roll my bonus chunk, I'd like to illustrate the situation I find myself in with this roll. For that, I've categorized my rollable chunks. The categories I've come up with are nothing, that's chunks with nothing in them and that don't enable or contribute to a grind in the foreseeable future. Chunks in this category are chunks 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13 and 14. The next category is potential danger. Chunks that by themselves don't do anything right now, but unlock a future grind and get me closer to a long grind. Chunks in this category are chunks 2 and 11. 2 because it has copper and tin rocks, which will unlock a smithing grind should I roll into a furnace chunk, and chunk 11 because it makes barbarian assault rollable. Category number 3 is minor tasks. Those are chunks that have some tasks in them, but I don't foresee them being a big grind or anything extreme. Chunks in this category are chunks 1, 4 and 5, although Lumbridge is probably at the upper end of what I would consider minor tasks. Next up is danger. Those are chunks that add immediate long grinds. Luckily there's only one such chunk right now, and that is chunk number 7, Cathaby. And the last category is desirable. These are chunks that unlock something very useful or chunks that speed up my current or future grinds. In the current case there's only one chunk in this category, and that's obviously chunk number 3, Alcarid. This chunk would speed up my thieving grind without adding any new big grinds on its own. This is how I view the currently rollable chunks. Technically both Alcarid and Lumbridge could also be considered potential danger chunks, because they both contain a furnace and that would make the mine north of Alcarid into a full danger chunk, but I think they align more strongly with the categories I've assigned them here. And now with this long-winded explanation out of the way, let's roll this bonus chunk. Here goes nothing. Please be Alcarid. Please, can we start the new year off good? Please! Oh, you have no idea how lucky I feel right now. Oh, there's no way. Goddamn. This is real. Beaver, you saved me from the grave. Alcarid Palace chunk. I dub thee Beaver Memorial chunk. Welcome to Alcarid proper. This chunk has so much stuff in it I don't even know where to start. I suppose I'll begin in the northeast corner and go clockwise. In this chunk we have a crafting shop with all the crafting mods I could ever ask for, a general store where I can finally sell things to make money, a plate leg and plate skirts shop, both selling leg armor up to adamantite, the palace with the Alcarid warriors that will cut down my thieving grind, a new bank, a kebab shop, a furnace to smelt ores, a leather tanner, a whole new agility course, and a scimitar shop who unfortunately only sells up to mithril. I will go over the tasks as we get to them, and to start off with, I'll focus on knocking out some of the quick and easy tasks that come with this chunk. There's actually 3 easy tasks we can knock off right now. First off, the agility course. We just need to complete 1 lap. Here it goes. And there we go, easy work for someone such as I who has completed over 8,000 laps of the Gnome Agility course. That is a chunk task complete. Next up, Prince Ali Rescue. Alright, start the quest. And now we need to talk to Osman. Osman? How do you say his name? Alright, I think that covers about everything. And that's all we can do. Another chunk task complete. And now on to easy task number 3. And for this one I will need money. Yeah, I think all of my money should do. Hello, Louis legs. Give me adamant plate legs. Beautiful. That's another chunk task complete. That is the easiest gear upgrade I've gotten in a while. And the last of the quick and easy tasks is back in the stronghold. I lamped my Slayer to 37 and that means I need to buy insulated boots. Hello Neve, nice Christmas hat. Give me those boots. And that's a chunk task complete. They're only a very marginal upgrade over the pink rope boots. I think the only upgrade they provide is that they have +1 defense against ranged, but it is an upgrade. Now that all the quick and easy tasks are out of the way, the next thing I have to get is 43 crafting to cut a diamond. And the first thing I need to do is prepare my materials. I want to get 43 crafting as fast as possible, and the fastest crafting XP I can think of is cutting gems. I already have a plan how to get to 20 crafting so I can start cutting gems, so all that's left is to get enough gems. Luckily I do have access to the gem trader in North Alcarid, and luckily I can only buy uncut sapphires and emeralds, and the restock time for these is 4 and 6 hours respectively. Oh, and I'm by far not the only person to buy these gems. On most worlds these are just going to be sold out. In preparation for the 43 crafting grind, I'm getting my hands on as many gems as I can carry. Most worlds emeralds are sold out unfortunately, but I can usually get my hands on some sapphires. These gems are also surprisingly cheap. 25 for an uncut sapphire, 50 for an uncut emerald. This is extremely cost effective. I accidentally misclicked the man who was over here while trying to click the gem trader and got 51 thieving. Progress by accident. Okay, I spent the last 2 days or so world hopping whenever I had time and gathering as many sapphires and emeralds as I can. And now with this amount of sapphires, emeralds and rubies, I should have more than enough XP to get to level 43 crafting. Of course, I need to get to level 20 crafting first to even start cutting sapphires. And right now I have 11 crafting. And until I get to level 20, my only method of crafting is to make bowstrings in the stronghold. So let's go do that. Here we are back in the gnome stronghold. And if I check my bank, I have 192 flax to turn into bowstrings. And I think this is almost enough to get me to 20 crafting. One more full inventory should do it. So I'll be taking these over to the spinning wheels. Level 12 crafting. I will bank the bowstrings because a yew longbow with a bowstring is worth twice as much as an unstrung yew longbow. And I have a lot of yew logs that I can make into longbows, and since I now have a general store, I can actually turn those into money. 13 crafting. 14 crafting. 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, and here comes 20 crafting. I can now cut sapphires. And as soon as I'm done with this inventory, that's what I'm going to do. I need to grab a chisel, and while I'm here, I might as well grab 1 copy of every mold, just so I don't have to come back in the future. And you know what, I'm also gonna grab a needle and some thread. Let's go cut some gems. Alright, I'm ready. And now, let's see how fast I can get to 43 crafting with this method. On my mark, ready, set, go! And there is 43 crafting in basically exactly 20 minutes. Damn. I can now cut diamonds. Let's do that. I had to cut into my ruby supply a little bit to get the last stretch, but this worked out really well. Let's cut this diamond. And that's a chunk task complete. Okay, so there is one task left that was added with the Alcarit chunk. Before I do that though, I just want to get a few mining levels in real quick. Quick is a relative term in this case. 51 mining right off the bat. Almost like I planned it. 52 mining. 53 mining. 54 mining. 55 mining. We can now mine mithril, but we won't, because mithril is gonna be super slow with a bronze pickaxe. 56 mining. 57. 58, 59, 60 mining. Only a short 14 hours later. Like I said, fast is a relative term here. On another note, it's kinda crazy how forgotten this mine is. The only times I ever see someone down here is when they're doing the Grand Tree quest. Nobody ever comes here to use the mine, even though it has everything from iron to adamantite, and it even has a bank fairly close by if you just go up the tree. Truly a forgotten piece of content. Anyway, now that I've made some progress on the big chunk task, let's do a smaller, more cathartic one. The last task added by the new chunk is to smelt a single bronze bar. Now some of you might be asking, if you have access to copper and tin ore to make a bronze bar, why does that not trigger a smithing grind? You have a furnace and can mine ores all the way up to adamantite. Well, you see, the reason for that is my materials rule that I set all the way back when I made the account. Both copper and tin are a 1 in 64 drop from different NPCs, and an item drop only counts as a material for a training method if it is a 1 in 16 drop at maximum. Anything rarer than that and the item does not constitute a training method. It can, however, still be a material and something that I only have to craft once. Like this bronze bar. Anyway, I already got the tin ore back when I was killing goblins, and so the only thing left to do is get the copper ore, which is dropped by either the man or the Alcarid warriors. I think I will be killing the man for my ore. Alright, here we go. I need to kill this specific man. He's the one that took my beaver. Let's see how many kills it takes this time. I think except for the ore that he has no drop set or of interest. Oh well. It doesn't really matter to me how long this takes. Either I get the drop I want fast and I'm happy, or I get to kill the man who took my beaver from me a bunch and I'm happy. So either way, I'm happy. This guy, on the other hand, probably not so much. Oh, there it is already. Only 38 kills. That was relatively fast. Alright. That's it then. Let's go smelt a bronze bar. Let's smelt that and get our first ever smithing XP. Hey, there we go. 6 smithing XP. The first ever bronze bar. And unless we get another mine, the only ever bronze bar. That's a chunk task complete. And with that, that is all the new extra tasks that were added with the Algorithm chunk complete. And that means the only thing I am left with again is mining and thieving. With one very notable difference. Let me grab some food and then I'll show you. The notable difference is that I am no longer required to pickpocket the man. I can now pickpocket these Algorithm warriors for 26 XP and a lower success rate, but I also got 18 coins. This should make the entire grind a lot faster. But I will also need to use more food. Anyway, see you with some thieving levels. 52 thieving. 53 thieving. I could now pickpocket desert bandits. Not that far away, but still unreachable. This does feel a lot faster. I fail more often, but this is way better. It's still not fast, but it is better. 54 thieving. 55 thieving. 56 thieving. Okay, that is the end of the 4th thieving trip. And I am running kinda low on pineapple pizzas. So I guess I'll have to go cook more. And as a bit of a side quest, I think I'll go for 1000 pineapple pizzas. Just to take a small little break from thieving. To cook 1000 pineapple pizzas, I'm going to need a lot of ingredients. Luckily I can buy everything I need from Puro in the Grand Tree, and thanks to my thieving, money is not a problem anymore. All I need to do is just buy the stuff and ferry it to my bank. That took a lot more world hopping than I care to admit, but I got all the ingredients together now. Remember when I had to buy buckets of milk from Puro, empty them out, and then fill them with water at the barrel over there? Just to get enough water to make dough and make as few pizzas. Nowadays I can just fill 1000 jugs of water. Back then I was so broke I had to make do with like 3 buckets. We've come far since then. Anyway, let's get started on those pizzas, huh? Now that I'm making pizzas again, you know what I really wish for? Fish. Making pizzas just takes so many steps. Make the dough, put the tomato on, put the cheese on, cook the pizza, cut the pineapple, put the pineapple on the pizza. That's 6 steps just to make some food. Not to mention the process of getting all the ingredients. It is so intensive. With fish, it's so much simpler. It's just catch fish, cook fish. Done. 67 cooking. Speaking of fish, tuna and sweet corn. I don't have access to either. 68 cooking. This is a very relevant level for what I'm doing right now, because this is a level where you stop burning plain pizzas. So this over here should not happen anymore. It's also the level where I can make baked potatoes with tuna and sweet corn, and I can cook a sunlight antelope. Alright, this is the last inventory of plain pizzas to make. And here is 69 cooking. Perfectly calculated out. Well, not really. But now all I have to do is put pineapple on these pizzas. Legend says that every time a pineapple touches a pizza, somewhere in Italy an Italian cries out in pain. Well, get ready to scream. 1000 pineapple pizzas made. I had 25 before. Let's go back to thieving, now that I have the food to sustain me. 57 thieving. 58. 59. 60 thieving. In terms of excitement or enjoyment per click, thieving is probably the lowest I've had to do so far. I think I even enjoyed doing 8,000 plus laps on the Gnome Agility course more than this. And the woodcutting and fletching grind at least had the advantage of, you know, being more AFK than this, so I could read a book or something. This requires almost constant attention. And you know, 50 to 60 was about a tenth of the amount of thieving I need to do. I think I found a better location to do this thieving. I'm in the other wing of the palace and got this guy stuck between the drawer and the bed. And unlike the man in the previous episode and the guards in the other room, this guy just doesn't seem to teleport away from here. I've been clicking this man for like 15 minutes. Usually when an NPC is stuck somewhere for 5 minutes, they just teleport back to the respawn location. Maybe this is his spawn location, I don't know. I'm not complaining though. 61 thieving. So, in an effort to save food, I've been doing other things while waiting for my HP to regenerate naturally. One of those things is turning the 11,000 yew logs I have into longbows, so I can sell them for a better price in the future. And now, 5,500 yew longbows later, this has led to something I haven't seen in a long while. Here's a fletching level, 88 fletching. Ooh, a fletching level. It's been almost a year since I've done one of these. 62 thieving. I did it again. I did it again. I am so stupid. And now I need to get 10 coins real quick. Why was I not paying attention? Why? Well, at least I don't have a pet to lose this time. Yeah. Well, I guess that extends this trip a little bit. Also, look. Free prayer XP. 63. 64. 65 thieving. 10 more levels to go. Sorceress's Garden, huh? That would have been an interesting method to train thieving. Unfortunately, I don't have the quest requirement. I have finished cutting all my yew logs into longbows. And I'm using the strings I still have to string a few of them, and here is level 89 fletching. Probably the last fletching level we're gonna see for a long while. Although I would like to convert all the unstrung yew longbows into yew longbows with a bowstring. Doing that doubles their high elk value and therefore also doubles the shop price, and the only reason I'm making these is to sell them, so I would like to do that. But I would need to make more than 10,000 bowstrings. Maybe, we'll see. For now at least I do need to find a new downtime activity while I wait for my HP to regenerate. I think I'll just go back to mining. You know, it's hard to convey how much time has passed between these clips, so I'll just tell you outright here. Since the last time you saw me with 89 fletching, I've spent the rest of that downtime down here. Then I went on another thieving trip, which didn't result in a level because I'm at that point now where one level takes multiple inventories of food. And then I spent another hour or so down here just to get this 61 mining. And the dragon pickaxe or an infernal pickaxe would be a really, really nice upgrade over the stupid bronze pickaxe. 66. 67 thieving. 62 mining. 63 mining. This level is very significant because not only is it the halfway point to our goal of 70 mining, it is also the level where I now have a 100% chance to mine iron. And that means, while I'm using this bronze pickaxe, I will always get an iron ore after exactly 8 game ticks, which is the mining speed of the bronze pickaxe, which is the slowest pickaxe in the game. But hey, at least now I don't have a chance to actually not get iron ore and have to do 2 mining cycles. I'd like to shorten the time between my thieving trips. Right now, in an effort to conserve resources, I've been waiting for my natural regeneration. I've been doing other stuff in between, like the mining levels you saw. And I would really like to lock in on thieving right now. That means I need a good and hopefully cheap way to restore my HP without going into my pizza supplies, because those are used for the thieving trips themselves. And this chunk actually gives me the answer for this. I didn't really think of it. I basically ignored it up until now. Until I had a visit from the Drunken Dwarf random event. And you know what that gave me? A kebab. And you know what's in this chunk? A kebab shop. And since each kebab only costs me a single GP, and at my level they on average heal around 10 HP, this could be very cheap and the thieving would literally just fund it by itself. A single pickpocket gives me 18 GP, and if on average I get about 10 HP per GP, one pickpocket of a warrior literally pays for my HP restore. So yeah, I'm gonna go thieving, and I'll be doing that in between to restore my HP. Let's go. Here's the halfway point, 68 thieving. All the thieving up until now do it again until the goal. Time to lock in and just do thieving, nothing else, just thieving. Eating, sleeping, no, thieving. 69 thieving. And 1100 total level. Nice. And here's the big 7-0 level 70 thieving. I could now pickpocket from paladins. I think those are in Easterdoin. It's not unattainable. 71, 72, 73, 74 thieving. Just one more level and then I can go get treatment for the RSI this probably gave me. Ow. And here it is, 75 thieving. I can now pickpocket gnomes. Oh yes. I'm done here. I can untag this warrior, MVP of this entire grind. If this warrior wasn't able to get stuck in its spawn location, this would have been so much worse. So glad I found this. So glad I rolled this chunk with my beaver roll. The beaver really saved me here. Like, from the grave, still protecting me. Saint Beaver, what can I say? I've pickpocketed 13,993 men and 42,249 warriors. And all that got me up to a total cash stock of 838k. That should last me a while, I hope. I also got 5 mystery boxes. Let's open those real quick. I'm not looking for anything anymore, but there's always a chance of getting something from the super rare spot on this drop table. Steel plate body, of course, now that I already have one. I get another one, just like that. Another mithril scimitar, I think that's the 4th one. A body rune, sure. An onion. And another onion. Alright, fair enough. Now let's go pickpocket a gnome. Back in the grand tree. Pickpocket a gnome. Ow. Let's try that one more time. Ow. Let's try that one more time. There we go, and I got 2 arrow shafts. But that is a hard task in the Western Provinces area complete. And a chunk task complete. Thinking back, around this time last year I had my fletching grind to 87 fletching. That grind took longer, but I think this grind was more unpleasant because it required constant clicking. So yeah, I would say that this was the hardest task for my hand so far. Even though it was not technically the hardest task to do, it was definitely the one that involved the most clicks, let's put it like that. Now, to finish this chunk, all I need is 70 mining. 7 more levels to go, we're halfway there. Let's go. Let's just lock in, knock that out, finish the task, and be done. Here's the first level of the final push to 70 mining. 64 mining. I don't know what any of this is. All I know are these iron rocks. 65 mining. I could now mine... How do you even say this? Lovakite? Lovakite? I have no idea. Anyway, I already have to have a small interruption in the mining grind. While I was mining, I went to my chunk picker to check off the completed gnome pickpocket tasks. And if you look up here in the top right, it now says 9 out of 12 chunk tasks. At the beginning of the episode, after I rolled my new chunk, I had 10 tasks. So at some point, probably due to just an update in the chunk picker, 2 new tasks appeared. I didn't change anything, but I now have a task for corrupted plate legs and corrupted plate skirts. The corrupted plate legs and plate skirts were part of a Christmas clue fest back in 2016. I didn't even know this was a thing. So I had no idea, I wasn't playing at the time. But it shouldn't be too hard, all I need to do is bring an acorn and bones to Louis Lex and Alcarid. That shouldn't be too difficult after all. I have a lot of bird's nests and I should hope that an acorn isn't too rare. So excuse me while I do this. That is a maple seed, willow, spirit, acorn, acorns. Okay, we already have acorns. Alright, got the acorn I need, now I just need a set of bones. Thank you for your kind donation. And now let's go to Alcarid. So I actually have no idea how this works. Do I talk to you? No. Who do I talk to? Oh yeah, wrong shop, wrong shop. I need to talk to Louis Legs, not the plate skirt shop. Hey Louis, this is just what I needed for my special secret. I've said too much. Take these and get out of here. Okay, that is 2 chunk tasks complete. Back to the mines. We are back down on the mines and here is 66 mining. 67 mining. And finishing this inventory off with 68 mining. Very good. 69 mining, and I got a beginner clue scroll geode. Is this one I can do? I think I have like exactly 1 clue step I can do right now. Let's see. Nope, that's Mage Tower. To the discard pile. Usually I don't show these, but this is not exactly big one, but it's 40 Slayer. I could now kill basilisks and terror dogs if I ever get my Slayer unlocked again. Anyway, back to mining. And here's the big one. 70 mining. I can now mine adamantite. And soft clay? I guess. Hell yeah. Okay. During the last stretch of this grind for the last few levels, you might have seen this clue scroll on the ground. That's the only easy clue scroll that I was able to obtain that I can actually do. Unfortunately, I was not able to get any of the other doable easy clue scrolls for me. There's 6 of them, I just didn't get any easy clue scrolls. Got loads of beginner clue scrolls, but there's only one doable step. Anyway, now that we have 70 mining, get the timer on screen, let's see how long this takes. There it is. Chunk task complete. The amount of time that took is ridiculous, but I did mine an adamantite ore. We are done. That's the end of the chunk. And I'm still eternally grateful for the extra chunk the beaver has afforded me. If I had to pickpocket 120,000 men instead of 42,000 Alcarat warriors, I would still be pickpocketing for a very long time. And this is where the video ends. Hope you enjoyed. I'm happy that I completed not 1 but 2 chunks today. And we will roll a new chunk next time. Until then, have a good one.